Hello, everybody. It's your boy Captain Shiver. Today we are on the first episode, and the main thing that we're going to talk about. I think before I talk about a lot of stuff, I gotta introduce my partners I got right here. So I'm going to start with this man right here. I think he's going to introduce himself. So
Okay, what's up, everybody? This is the second time and the second show. We own it. It's your boy Taylor, aka TK47, with a shaving machine. Shaving heat. I'm back, but I'm gonna pass the mic to my boy.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. My name is Mike. Today I'll be with the boys. I'll be joining some crews and shit. We'll be talking about current affairs and everything you need to know. Everything from ladies
yeah.
to.
So talking about the topics, there's certain topics that we have actually discussed in the previous video. But anyway, I think today we're just going to clarify everything. So we actually came up with some points, and as we actually said before, we talked about relationships. So when we talk about relationships, we're talking about roles of a man and roles of a woman in relationships, so they can actually be together for a long time. You get what I'm saying? So,
Precisely.
yeah. So I think there are many customs that we actually take from when it comes to relationships. There are different approaches to relationships. So we're going to talk about all those things, perspectives on relationship, like how we all know that we come from different backgrounds and stuff, so we've got different beliefs when it comes to relationships. But there's I think there's a basic there are basic like conditions that a man and a woman should be able to actually. I think the basic roles a man and a woman are supposed to be actually
Playing in a relationship.
playing in a relationship. So we'll be talking about all those things and different philosophies and different views, and we'll actually look at, and then we'll conclude on I think on the best ways people can actually engage in a relationship. So the second goes on education.
Yeah.
So talking about the education, man, what do you know about the education, man? Maybe my guys got ideas, man. Maybe you've got your own point of view about education, and this one got his point of view when it comes to education. What do you think about the education, man?
Okay, when it comes to education, I just think about slavery. I'm talking about education. The educational system is just something that is used to blind the black man. People be out on the.
I wanted to stop you. I would like to stop you on that point. I don't think it only targets a black man. I think every race is actually involved in this case. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I think so. But it's more inferior to a black man because you know what? I'm talking about black Nick. I'm representing black brother. So
Yeah,
when we come to black, it's more like education and religion. It's something used to I don't know. It's more like it's a colonial thing in the mind of a black
So
man.
we're talking about like manipulation.
Yeah. It's more like manipulation. No, it's like manipulation, but it opens your brain. It's good. It
Yeah.
depends how you're going to use it and how you're just going to view it.
So I think there's disadvantages and advantages to
Yeah,
education.
there are
But
disadvantages and advantages to education.
but in the long run, there's always
disadvantages.
Yeah.
It's full of
There's always-
disadvantages than advantages.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I think the main problem is about the systems of education.
Yeah, the system of
Because
education.
there is a system where people give you restrictions on your education. They want you to to actually specify on a certain thing.
Shit.
When you have the ability to actually study more about maybe let's say I'm going to college, right? I'm doing economics. Let's say I'm doing IT. I was an IT student myself. So let's say I'm going to college. I'm doing IT. Maybe I'm doing software engineering. Maybe I'm doing networking. Maybe I'm doing ethical hacking. It actually depends with what I love. So as they always say, do what you love, but it never works in the real world. So talking about the IT stuff, maybe let's say I'm just going to college, I'm doing IT, but maybe there is a need to learn some economics so I can actually uh uh make out the base of my financial like situations. Maybe I don't know how to handle money when I get that money from my from an IT salary, something like that. Maybe I don't know how to use that money in a proper way. Then I misuse that money, buying a bunch of liabilities, and then struggle at the end. And the pension fund and the social security thing is a scam, baby.
Education is just a loophole. See, they don't teach you what you need. You need to get money, you need to make money, but they don't teach you that. They just teach you on how to work for somebody and how to be a loyal servant.
It's an employer mindset they teach you there at school. So everything is just a lie, it's just a scam.
It's more like scripted.
Yeah.
They just put you through something they already made.
Because
Yeah,
the rich, they install those system in everyone's brain because they want them. Because I still remember what was that call from? Who was that guy that said something like, "We want a nation
Yeah, it was
full of
John D. Rockefeller. He actually said on there's a quote that actually that people use it on so many so many times people actually quote that saying when he was saying about I want a nation full of
workers, not
workers,
thinkers."
not thinkers. So I think you have actually heard about a system that they call the Prussian system.
Yeah,
It was one of the
I
systems that was
introduced
used
it
by
also.
it was German, right?
Pressure, yeah.
It's
German,
German.
yeah, Germany actually. Yeah, I think the first time it was actually uh, put into use, it was they used it on Poland. They wanted people to actually have a certain kind of. No, it was in Poland. I think before the World War, something like
World
that.
War
Time
Two.
around maybe 16th century. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just
Yeah,
after the World War II.
before
After
the
World
World
War Two.
War, before the World Wars, man. Yeah,
It was before,
that's when everything happened.
after World War One, isn't it?
No,
Mm.
it was somewhere before World War. The pricing system. That's when the system was actually
Because I
created.
think I was going through this I don't know Hitler files again, and I think they used the same tactic after World War One. I think
Yeah,
they tried
I
to
was
use
just
it
trying to.
again.
I was just trying to like
Okay,
take
how it was
the
introduced.
concept was actually
Okay, okay.
introduced and stuff.
Get it?
So when Poland, Germany was actually colonizing Poland, and when they colonized Poland, they knew they wanted the Poland people to actually believe in the doctrines, to believe in every in every in every custom that the Germans were actually living on. So they wanted to actually manipulate the brains of the Poland people. They are the Polish, right?
Yeah.
They wanted to manipulate the Polish people. So they knew that to actually come to a grown Polish man and a Polish woman to actually
Let's go on to the next.
so talking about the Polish people, one of the mechanisms that the Germans had to use was actually uh, exploiting the younger generation. So they actually targeted the kids. So when they went to when they approached the approach, they actually uh, they chose an approach that was going to exploit them kids. So they actually created an education system that kids would go and actually learn about a bunch of stuff. It was like
Unnecessary
yeah,
stuff.
it was something like a public education, like the education we actually get from the government, like right here in Zimbabwe in Africa, right? So there's the primary education, there's the secondary education. So all those education spectrums, that were actually represented or that were actually provided by the government. They had a system that we call the Prussian system. So the system was a system of manipulation. You actually tend to be a grown man. The moment you actually tend to be an adult,
Yes.
something like that, that system will be hard coded inside you. You get what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing. Maybe
You want to
It
think
will
it
be
for
so hard
yourself.
to unlearn, going into the real world. The real world is full of competition and shit. The real world is full of people who actually look for money the hard way, and people they used to,
It's just like
the
making
system.
pets out of humans.
and there's one example that I would like to give you. Let's say you're a professor, right?
Of course,
And you're teaching me about business classes, right?
yeah.
And let's just say that I'm a C student, man. I'm an average student.
Average
And
student.
this one maybe you can actually call him a he's the
Yeah.
worst man. You actually take him as the worst. But maybe my friend Mike over here has got is capable, is competent, is open minded.
Yeah.
So whenever whenever there's an opportunity, let's say we are going to dig a hole and then somebody is actually going to give us maybe 100,000. Mike will be willing to dig that hole because he's open minded, because the education system has actually taught everybody. Yeah, it has actually transformed you to a high status man just because you get good grades. So you actually think like, man,
This shit is not meant for me.
with all this education I got, with all this accomplishment I've actually achieved in my life, can I go? Okay, would I dig that hole? Man, I would leave that shit to mine.
But what you don't know is every man coming through get great debt. Every millionaire out there had to do something dirty to
Yeah.
get
So-
wherever they are.
So the concept I'm just trying to illustrate right here is that when Mike goes and dig that hole, he will actually get $100,000. When he gets $100,000, if he has a good financial knowledge, and then there are 100% chances of him becoming a millionaire. Other than this nigga who is actually thinking that he's the best in the world, man. Just because
You know,
he's
just
open minded,
because
so
of
he's
his
maybe
systems.
even if he decides to actually go into different business adventures, he's going to succeed because in the real world it takes mistakes to actually be somebody. But
True.
when you look at the education system,
also.
they don't teach you to fail. They want you to perfect
Perfect.
everything because
Let's face it, no one is
you are
perfect.
being trained to be a worker because when you're on a certain kind of a job, we can't afford to make
Mistakes,
You get what I'm
because
saying?
you make me lose money.
But in the
Like a doctor,
business,
for example,
yeah,
if you just cut the wrong nerve, then the person
kill
is gone.
somebody. And your boss ain't making money. See?
So mistakes are in the real world. In the real world, you're supposed to make mistakes because mistakes are the one that helps you grow.
But I'm not saying
Financial-
kill anybody with mistake,
Yeah,
though, because
no.
you won't get rich now. You know what I'm talking
and
about?
if you totally get it, what made you? I would like to know that the energy or the motivation of you being that led you to actually
Think outside the box?
yeah, thinking outside the box. But I was just talking about walking.
Walking like taking
Walking
a
like
step
taking
at a
steps.
time.
Lame, boy, I'm so about face steps, man. You learn from the mistakes. You fall, you
Yeah,
fall, you fall, you
you
fall.
fall,
Then
you-
yeah,
Okay,
like,
okay,
goddamn,
okay,
I'm
okay,
fed
okay.
up with this shit. I gotta walk, man.
Okay,
Then
okay.
you start,
Okay,
you know.
okay. What motivated me to walk is, I was just brought up in
This time they actually call to be walk and walking. We're talking about walking, boy.
Okay, nigga. My first steps, they were motivated by
By
I know.
failing.
Yeah, nigga. I
You
I fell
fell.
down a lot, I almost
you
broke
Talking
my
fell.
about
nose.
myself, actually fell 1,000 times, man. My mama told me.
He's a dummy.
I almost broke my leg, nigga. Okay. Coming on a serious note. Okay. What motivated everybody of us now to keep pushing through is pain, failure. You
Yeah.
keep failing, you keep pushing.
So
Why?
the more you fail, the more you learn. We learn from experience. That's
Mistakes,
exactly what it is. We learn
experiences.
from a mistake.
It's simply what we're saying. But anyways, we're gonna stop about that because we don't want to dig more deep into it. We're just gonna highlight what we're
If you
gonna
want to
be
know
talking
more,
about.
if you want to know more about this stuff, you have to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Build these videos, man.
We go open your mind.
Yeah, we're becoming with the
We're
healing, like I
man full
told
of,
you.
we're a man full of wisdom.
You will become a god in this controlled by
We got
bureaucrats
wisdom, baby.
world.
It's only that we actually, we have barriers. People living in Africa, we got a bunch of disadvantage.
You got to extra try hard about everything. For example, the way you're gonna communicate with the world, you have to first learn English. And we grew up speaking Shona 100%, man. We came from the roots, man. Deep
Yeah,
down, man.
speak for yourself, nigga.
There's something I would
You have
like
to
to talk
read
about.
some
There's something I
novels.
would like to talk about. Talk about myself. Maybe I've broken the language by the time. It doesn't matter, man. It's my mother's language. Let me tell you something. I actually learned the language. It's just a matter of communication. As long as you understand what I'm saying, man. Everything else is bullshit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You are understanding what I'm saying. So
Okay.
there's no need for me to be perfect with this language. It was never my mother's language.
Hey, man,
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not living in America. But anyway, I'm trying.
Okay. As we were saying, you don't need to be perfect to just, shoot out for everything. You gotta make mistakes. Mistakes are bound to be made. Then you reach to a certain level or period where you wanna be after you learn from your experiences and mistakes. Okay?
But there's one thing I would like to tell people. There are two things to everything. Let's say I've actually maybe I got a teacher, right? And maybe we are mechanics, something like that. We are modifying a car. You get what I'm saying? Maybe we are creating a car. Maybe we're actually creating an engine of a car. So when we are creating an engine of a car, maybe maybe we talk about maybe there's pistons, there's injectors, there's something like that. Maybe we're talking about a diesel engine car, right? So what I need people to understand is that the most important thing on something or on a specific subject is the concept. You know what I'm saying? I think the one thing that you really need to understand is the concept of something, because when you understand the concept of something, then technical terms don't actually matter to you. Because let's say this is an engine. We're talking about engine, right? Maybe I would like to call the pistons. Maybe I'll call them. These are guns. Let's just say that these are my guns. As long as I understand the concept, because even if I call them guns, I know the exact function of a gun on an engine. You get what I'm saying? So I know what it does on an engine. So maybe if I call them guns, if I call them something that I need to call them, it just depends with me. That's why we have different philosophies and everything, because people have got their own views. The concept is the most important thing. The technical terms is something to actually, so that a bunch of people can actually understand something. Let's say we talk about, let's talk about any topic. We talk about camera, right? We can actually say something about the camera. If I give you my phone and actually, hey Taylor, can you actually go to the camera app?
I can do
Everybody can actually go to the camera app, because
It's
in the whole world, it is widely known as the camera. But let's come to a point that maybe I've actually decided to call the camera app maybe the Zaza app. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if I say something to Taylor, hey Taylor, can you actually open up the Zaza app?
Nigga, what the fuck is this? Zaza app?
You wanna understand, right? But let's say I've developed my own actually concept. Like let's say I would like to call this thing as Zaza. But maybe
Quantum camera.
and then I teach the information. Then I teach the Zaza word to everybody. Let's say I'm actually starting my own institution, right? I create my own phone. Then I actually call the camera Zaza app. I was like, this is the Zaza. This is no longer a camera app. That's exactly the thing. That I'm just trying to give the concept of the education, how it was created.
Yeah, don't
So
mind
if
the
I
Zaza
create my
app.
own phone and I call the camera app the Zaza phone, everybody who is going to actually come out from my college or come out from my education system that I've created is going to call the camera
Zaza
the Zaza app.
Zaza, nigga.
You get what I'm saying? So that is the exact thing that happened with the school system. They've got certain kind of things they've shaped into the way they loved all those things, because they finance the whole thing. If you look at the American education or the public education side about the Rockefellers, and the Rockefellers were capitalists, they were like there was monopoly in America. Everybody who
Knows
have
it.
actually went through the history of America knows all that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? So that's the whole concept. You get what I'm saying? So I think we have actually talked a lot about education, man.
Yeah.
I think it is it is the most important topic, on all those things, because
Education
even if we
touches
talk about
everything.
relationship, even if we talk about everything,
Comes from
everything
education.
comes from education. And it is religious education. It is education, baby, because you're being informed.
And
You're
it's
being given
finance.
information.
It's education.
And anyway, education is information.
And it's learning. So you never
What
stop
is
learning.
information? You go to school, get information, you get a degree. A degree is just a certificate of accomplishment for gaining, attaining information from a faculty of, I don't know, what it is.
Nerds.
Couples.
Nerd.
Anyway, it's just a system. Anyway, they don't want you to think outside the box. Remember, my voices are sounding masculine. You know what I'm saying? I think it's because of the education, babe. You can actually see I'm wearing a
Suit and tie.
That's a
I
pretty
can call
piece.
this a tie, But anyway, this is American dress, man. I was supposed to be working, putting on some African shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
Some Nigerian type of
Nigerian type of shit. You know what I'm talking about? So it is just, the world is everybody's just doing things in the way it was actually portrayed by the white, by the whites, So
Yeah,
that's,
not to be
by the
racist,
African
though.
race.
Not to be racist, no?
we're not being racist. We just actually stated facts, right?
But the suit looks good.
We don't want to be racist.
But
Now.
this is-
We don't want to be racist because we're not
Me
racist.
wearing
man.
this should actually says a lot. It actually means that I'm not racist, because I'm wearing some white man
Some
shit. You know what I'm saying?
American type of shit.
On
Yeah.
to the next point.
Just look at the American flag. I'm not racist, man.
I love America. Actually, America is what made us to be here where we are. It's because of America. We want to dress like Americans. We want to look like Americans, and we want to do what the Americans do, except for the homo type of shit.
We want it, and then some change. Some things change.
Yeah.
Because even the system that we're talking about, it isn't even present in America. You get what I'm saying? So there's a bunch of manipulation that happens in America, and America is I think I actually love to call it a clown world. That is
It's full of
I
clowns.
think it is a place where everything is
It's
actually
acceptable.
created.
Anyone, it's
It
like
is-
the
yeah.
utopia of
It is created. You find Hollywood
the
in
real
America.
world.
You find the musicians. You find Chris Brown in America. You find everybody who is
You find
actually
guns.
influential in America. And then
Everyone is a god in America.
You find a lot of clowns in there.
and then they influence everybody in the world, because everybody, I don't know, they worship the American media, something like that. So everybody adopts the American.
No, that's
world.
how the American media portrays it. It's more like it portrays itself like God and stuff. in
But I think it
movies.
is dominant media.
Yeah, it's dominant.
Yeah,
It's
it
true.
is the
That is
dominant
dominant.
media.
The Americans want
it is
everybody to
dominant,
hate China, and yet China is just trying to protect what do you call that island? The Thailand. What do you call it?
The Taiwan.
Yeah, the Taiwan.
There's a bunch of things that are coming. I think when you're now, that's classified information. You ain't
Nah,
supposed to
we're
be
not talking about that today. Okay, up to global economics.
Global economy.
Yeah,
So
let's
talking
go.
about global, I think he was actually jumping to the next topic. Maybe he's like,
He's a speeding and shit.
So
Hitting
so
the corners
horny
too
for
fast.
information and shit, man.
anyway, actually, let's actually get straight to the point. So talking about global economics, we talk about economics on a global scale. You get what I'm saying? Everything about
You can start from Zimbabwe, how people live. We just want to let you know how everyone lives in Zimbabwe, and then we're going to expand to international type of trade.
And talking about the economics, we're going to be talking about different kinds of economics and advantages they have and the mechanisms they have, and how can you exploit those mechanisms to your favor. You get what I'm saying? That's one of the things that we like to encourage in everybody. Same as we are saying these things, and we also want to apply these things. And maybe I'm applying it at a point you don't know. So my life is private. You get your own, but I'm trying to enlighten you so we can actually make the world a better place, especially Africa. You get what I'm saying? Because talking about Africans, I think there's a disease in Africa that a lot of people don't actually know about shit. Talking about politics, they wait for a politician to tell them about politics when you should be actually doing that yourself. You have to analyze something, then you conclude. So there's a bunch of stuff we don't know because of the system that actually in place, and that is one of the things that we like to change, so that you can actually open up your mind and then look for information.
I think on that,
and I think there's something we actually skipped when we was talking about education. Education is not only found in school. Today we've got internet, we've got a bunch of stuff, we've got sources of education in our modern day. You can actually,
on that.
Yeah.
There is a lot of education on the internet, but modern day, people or children often spend their time either TikToking. They don't know how to use the internet anymore. On some of them, we don't go there. Some XX content, you know what I'm talking about, but you don't know the powerful tool of internet. See, and we're just here to give you a show like a red light to what is important on there.
Yeah, you find somebody actually spending hours on YouTube watching. Is that what saying? I was actually saying about something. Somebody watching content on YouTube. Like you actually find out that a bunch of people actually waste their time watching funny videos on YouTube. Somebody can actually waste like 2 hours, 4 hours watching funny videos on YouTube when you should be like doing something with the internet. You get what I'm saying? There's a bunch of people on YouTube you can find. They can actually teach you about a bunch of stuff. You can actually learn web development, anything that has to do with IT. You can learn from the internet. There are courses you can find on Udemy. They have got certain kinds, certain
degrees,
certain
diplomas,
prices, something like that. There's a bunch of stuff you can actually learn from the internet. So it is a very, very resourceful.
You learn some
tool.
skills.
You can learn some skills. You can learn how to
operate something you have never done before. Machines, everything. How to make a machine.
everything.
When I'm at the shops, I see these repair shops. Some kids come. No, not some kids actually. Some grown-ups.
Man.
They come with some computers. They want to load operating systems in their computers.
Something
But you
which
can
is
just
best.
get that information for free.
Straight from YouTube.
They have to pay like something like $10 to get the software installed on their hardware and shit. But you can just download, maybe you can just get a 1 gig maybe for less than $1, and then you
on yourself. How to reset a
then
phone.
you watch YouTube. How to install an operating system, how to install Windows 10, Windows 11, the latest Windows.
Yeah.
Actually.
How you reset a phone, how you do
everything, man. Just the internet.
Everyone is
only
literally
everything the right way.
everything.
You get what I'm saying? It's the internet.
I'm talking about everything.
And there's one thing that I would like people to know. Back in the day, there was the agrarian age. The agrarian age is an age where everything was actually owned by them kings, and people used to live in a kingdom, and people could actually be the kingdom. The kingdom was actually run by a king, right? Is I actually say, and the land was owned by the king, and people actually rented the land so they can actually do all the things they wanted to do. They were different entrepreneurs at that time. So talking about the agrarian age, there was the industrial age. The industrial age is when all those guys came and they created the education system because they wanted. So a degree was tied up to a job. they created an industry. They created an engineering industry. They were very in need of engineers, and the engineers could actually come into the picture. And then they had to create an engineering degree. Then that's why you find out there's a new degree in each and every year, because the industry keeps evolving. So it is still evolving. So the degrees are actually coming to the picture, and so there's inflation in degrees. If you didn't know that, because the more they come, some of them won't actually be. Actually, some of the maybe
degrees
the degrees won't actually
won't
worth
be
something.
valid.
You know what I'm saying?
Won't be valid.
They'll lose value as time goes on. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole concept. There was the agrarian age, there was industrial age. The industrial age came with this education that we have today. So some of the people in this world are living in the agrarian age when they should be living in a new age that we're actually living in.
New
So what
era.
is this new age that I'm talking about? We're talking about the information age. That is the age we are right now.
Technology and
There's
tech.
technology. There's a bunch of stuff. There's people are actually. Let me tell you something about the information age. People are making millions. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in the comfort of their home just because they have information that can actually get them to riches. I think you've actually heard about a bunch of stuff. There's forex trading. There's copywriting. There's affiliate marketing. There's a bunch of stuff. We even get YouTube,
Cryptocurrency trading. everything.
cryptocurrency. We get NFTs. We get YouTubers. We got a bunch of stuff. I think-
TikTokers.
yeah, TikTokers. The list is endless. People can actually make money. I think you can actually see the
It's
reason
no
why.
longer about education anymore. It's about how you think, right?
And we're talking about Zimbabwe, right? We've got people like Passion Java. Yeah, I would like to talk about Passion Java. That one is a content creator. Let me tell you something. That man is creative. People make
It's not
time.
of God. It's not a content creator. He praises God. He worships God.
And I argue with that. That nigga is a good talk, pretty talk.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, he's got his own point of views. He's actually telling that he's a man of God.
I
Talking
believe
about
in-
myself.
They're bullshit.
Let me tell you something. Talking about myself, I'm a Muslim. I don't believe in prophets, something like that, because I believe the
Salam
prophet
alaikum,
age is
salam.
actually gone. So let me tell you something about what I think in the terms of what we're talking about, right? Is I actually mentioned the name Passion Java. I'm actually saying that he knows how to use the social networks because he's got so many followers. He creates content on each and every day, and people. There's I think there's there's a reaction to all that content. He's got viewers on all the content that
Daily basis.
on every content on everything that he actually posts. So he's making money out of Facebook. He's making money out of YouTube. He is making money out of
TikTok,
Instagram.
everything.
And do you want to know
Twitter.
the actual trick that he uses on you? He pokes everybody.
Controversial.
Yeah, controversial. He's very, very controversial because when there's controversy, there's a reaction. You get what I'm saying?
And there's trends.
So that's why he loves to be controversial on each
And
every
provocative.
topic.
He's
It's all
provocative.
about the money, man. You actually start
Money.
calling, hey, he's a scamming ass nigga, something like
Nah,
that.
he makes
Hey, he
money out
does
of your
this.
anger.
Hey, he does this, because you're providing anger and you're providing viewership on his content. When he's getting money, you get what I'm saying?
Out of you.
That's one advantages. That's one of the advantages of the information age that we're living in. So we are making other people rich by consuming. I don't know, maybe reaction shit. We're all reacting something like that. Yeah, maybe there's a reason why you watch his content, something like that. But I was just trying to portray the veil.
all about
Why
outsmarting.
people are making money. I think you've actually heard about somebody they call Endote. He actually blew up. He was the most Googled man on earth, I think, last year because of the controversial videos that had a great number of viewership. You know what I'm talking about billions of viewers. That was one of the things that made him blow up. So I think we don't want to waste much of our time because I think I'm actually jumping into other topics that I'm not supposed to be actually talking about. So we've got a bunch of information.
A lot.
We got gigantic sources of energy. Sources of information. I think I was getting hype or something like that. The energy is way too much.
I had to cut it.
Because I love educating people, man. You get what I'm saying? So I think what was the next thing?
Okay. We was talking about financial knowledge.
Yeah,
Okay.
financial knowledge.
We already touched into that.
Talking about financial knowledge, I got this thing right here. It's a book by Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah, it is a name Rich Dad Poor Dad. It is very, very
This is
useful if you want to actually enhance your financial education.
Yeah, it's a
You
very
can still
simple
read
book.
this book, but there's other books, but
There are
we
a
will
lot.
let you know.
And
But first,
if you-
we
maybe
have
if you
to
subscribe-
sensitize your mind.
Maybe if you subscribe to our channel, we'll let you know everything.
We don't give that for free. You know what I'm talking about? but we
It's a
didn't
way
get
of
it for
getting
free.
that for free also.
We are generous
We'll
tables,
let you
baby.
know.
Whether you like it or not, we are generous because we're giving you information.
Oh, yeah.
You will never find this information in school, in any kind of university that you ever go. They will just teach you about a trade.
Especially use it.
That's enough, niggas. Let's go.
Especially
I'm
use
just
it.
gonna be telling you about what's going to
Use
happen.
it. Do they even have a computer and use it? It's my supercomputer.
Okay. We'll be talking
We'll
about
drop that one. So anyway, we'll talk about business. That's the next thing. So we're going to talk about
personal finances,
yeah.
you know,
business
and-
finances
and all the types of income and how you get it.
and all the kinds of business people can actually, do. Either it's
And
corporations, LLC, like limited liability companies and stuff like that. All the information that you need to know about the business kinds and corporations, how they save you from tax. The reason why you find all those gigantic business people, like Elon Musk.
yeah.
There's more books about these things, But I know that black niggas, I'm
Don't
talking about
like
black
reading.
people. Black people don't like to read. That's one of the problems. I think there's an approach to reading that we have to change in our lives. We have to fall in love with reading because wisdom is stored
Comes from reading.
in books. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they hide it. Any kind of philosopher, any wise man, every kind of wise man. Even if I was wise, and I know I'm wise,
I'll write my shit down
I will write my shit down. I will hide my wisdom in a book,
in a book.
so that you actually have to climb your way up to the information.
Pass it to my son,
There's
or the
effort
next
needed.
generation.
There's effort needed for wisdom. You get what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why we actually read these books. And today we've got advantages. We've got a bunch of YouTube channels that actually help you enhance your finances, like something like that. And like we are doing, you get what I'm saying? We're giving you financial knowledge
Insight.
For free.
We're just giving you. This is just a basic stuff about what we're going to talk about.
All right.
We can actually go all day talking about this thing.
On to the next. We got religion in this motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about?
Talking about the religions.
I don't know. We got
Talking about the religions. We've got the different religions in the world.
Tell me, my friend.
And the religions that we're going to be talking about today is going to be Islam and
Christianity
Christianity.
today.
Especially Christianity and Islam, because they are the
Because
most
they think
dominant
they are the
religions.
most superiors.
They are the most dominant religions in the continent. So that is exactly what the thing that we're going to be talking about.
We're gonna be exposing the Vatican files. Yeah, on this channel.
Vatican City.
Yeah.
We're
We're
City.
exposing
You know
everything.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
So anyway, we just want things to be fun and informing. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you switch on to some Russian English, something like that. It's very, very funny to actually speak in the Russian English.
I
And
know, sir.
there's another thing.
We're gonna talk about, health matter, how to
matters.
keep a healthy life,
How it matters, yeah.
how to live a healthy life,
How to
exercise,
how to be
how
masculine.
to eat, how to be
How to
muscular.
improve your longevity, just like the Japanese people. The
Boom.
Japanese people, there's over 86,000 people who are over 100 years in Japan.
Just imagine.
But here in Zimbabwe, the life
Diet and
expectancy
stuff.
is just 56 years.
Yeah, I know
less,
you want
man.
some
Just
live
because
fast,
of
die young
age.
shit.
Guys,
But
the
let's face it.
STIs. and
Let's
the
face it.
But I
STIs.
really love the point that actually say, people want to live fast and die
Yeah.
young.
Yeah.
I think it is an American perspective.
Yeah.
People have to actually
The
live a fast
Americans
life. something like
brainwash
that.
all the
But
Brainwashing
you
everybody
come
and
from
shit.
an African view. You don't live fast because you don't get rich young. So
Yeah.
live long,
You're less privileged
die long.
in a greater way. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm talking about?
So you really have to
everything. You
try.
got an extra try.
Especially if you're a black man, if you are trapped in this black skin. This is a very, very good skin. I love it, my friend. Let me tell you.
Melanin.
White man trapped in black skin.
Melanin.
Example.
I think what I think what actually crippled the society is the imperialism that happened to Africa. That a black man, oh god damn, is I've actually told you before. This ain't my
I
language.
wanted
So
to say
this
a
is
blacksmith, but it's the same thing because of the black man.
a black man. I'm actually talking about a black man.
Nigga, I don't want to say a blacksmith,
And you gotta keep this thing, funny and stuff,
Nah, I get you.
Anyway, I was actually
But
switching
anyways,
from
what does a
Russia.
blacksmith do?
They actually, I think is I don't know. They actually and they
Make
actually-
some
they make some
tools,
yeah.
made up. Let's go.
Anyway, talking about a black man.
Prior to religion, right? It's religion.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Like,
It's not like less privileged, but you just at a disadvantage whereby your countries don't have what you call this. Your countries are rich in minerals and stuff, but they don't know how to process it.
No, they know how to process it. I think we're going to actually get into it in the coming topics. There's a bunch of information around that, the spectrum that actually we're actually talking about.
Anyways,
There's a bunch of stuff.
we're not gonna be getting
So
into
we're
that.
not going to conclude anything.
Alright, there's forex too. We do forex.
We
We're
are
forex
professional.
gurus.
We are professional forex traders. We've been doing this for 2 years now, and we are very, very experienced. We've got even coaches on forex and stuff like that. So we really know a bunch of stuff about the financial markets, the trends, the bullish and the bearish, all the trends, all the guarantee pairs. If you want to trade volatility, the synthetics. If you want to
Bitcoin,
jump into the
Currencies.
crypto world, all those kind of things. You get what I'm saying? So let me tell you something. I do not possess a degree. He do not possess a degree.
I don't.
And he doesn't have a degree. But anyway, we've got all this information. Where do you think we've gotten all this information? There's a bunch of information
Networks.
surrounded, I don't know, it's hidden in somewhere.
It's just around you,
in the
but
world.
you just don't know how to find it. Access.
But I think there's barriers that African people have, that if you are unable to go to school, then you actually close your mindset, thinking that there's nothing you will ever learn. Because what we believe is that if you don't get information from school, then anything that you actually get outside the school system is not information. Information that will actually get you millions of dollars, information that will get you billions of dollars, is not taught in school. Because if it was taught in school, everybody would have been a millionaire, man.
I know, like,
Don't you get the sense?
I know, like, the next question you'll be asking, why ain't you millionaires? Why? Wait for
Let me
it.
tell you something.
Everything takes time.
Everything takes time.
And we're on the next step. So I don't want you
We're on the
coming.
verge of that shit.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Anyways, I'm gonna put a challenge on
don't I
everybody.
look like a millionaire?
Yeah, you look like a billionaire. Whatever.
Let me tell you something.
Zillionaire,
The reason why I'm not a millionaire, I think, is because of the country that I'm living in. We are very, very less privileged. But it doesn't stop you from, going after your dreams. That's why I'm putting the effort each and every day.
True.
I choose not to be exploited by another man just because I don't have the financial knowledge. So the financial
True.
knowledge guides me. It guides me, and actually, it is influence in all my moves, so that I move wisely, so that I can be what?
Hold on.
I can break the cycles. man.
Stop preaching to them. We're not gonna be telling you
You gotta
deep shit.
subscribe
You
if
gotta
you wanna
subscribe.
know.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna put a challenge on you. You forward the links, you subscribe, and you have a chance of just putting out a challenge on whatever information you want. I'm gonna come with it.
You can
You know.
debate on any topic.
And we're talking about my
type of
business.
shit,
This is a Gucci suit, babe.
Yeah, you're looking like a billionaire. Whatever. Let's
Looking
go.
like Passion Job, man.
Yeah, I ain't looking like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
From all the shit you feel.
It's actually not good. I'm just trying to show what I want.